Hello and welcome. My name is Regina Hicks. I'm a candidate for the EDS program in Instructional Technology at Kennesaw State University. This is an overview of a quantitative research project that I recently completed over the topic of female interest in STEM fields. This project was done using SurveyMonkey, upper elementary students, which are grades 4 and 5, and middle school students, which are grades 6, 7, and 8, were surveyed for the data for this research project. Before we move on with the overview, I have to define the word STEM for you. It's actually not a word, it's an acronym. It stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. These fields make up a huge part of our workforce today. These fields grow about 3 times faster than any other fields. However, women are fulfilling less and less of these positions. My study is looking at where women's interests lie, and is there something that we can do to help improve the number of women going into those fields. I chose to do females in STEM because there's so much talk about that today. And then in literature, looking at theories for why females are not so interested in STEM, I discovered that there are 3 major ones. The first one being that of leaky pipeline, meaning that they would start their education in STEM and then later decide that maybe the math or science is too hard, so they will drop out and do something else. The second one is gender stereotyping, meaning they feel like the field is a man's field, so therefore they shy away from entering those fields. And the last one is lack of role models, and that goes back to the fact that so few women are choosing to go into STEM fields, even though that there are so many more jobs available in those areas. Find out how females perceive or are interested in STEM fields in my county. I chose to administer a survey through SurveyMonkey. There were 82 upper elementary students that participated and 105 middle school students who participated in the survey. Interestingly enough, there were 49 females in upper elementary and 39 females in middle school who ended up participating. Do females know adults in STEM fields? And the answer is yes. You'll see a breakdown of the percents that they know the scientists, technologists, the engineers, and mathematicians for upper elementary and middle school females. Middle school students were asked, were they planning to go to college and were they taking advanced math or science classes, and 94% of the middle school female students are planning to attend college, with 41% that will take advanced math classes and 48% taking science classes. So the answer to are they taking those courses is yes. Upper elementary and middle school students were asked a series of questions in the survey that dealt with fields of STEM interest. The elementary school females ended up choosing veterinary work as their most interest, and physics is their least. Not to say there weren't some STEM fields along the way, but they were not quite as interested. Same sense, middle school females were more interested in medicine. They were least interested in engineering. I find that quite interesting because they're both looking at the service-related end of the STEM fields. This is a chart that shows the comparison of the male and female interest in STEM. And as you notice, the blue line is the female and the red line is the male. And the female does begin slightly above and then quickly drops below the interest of the male. This one chart was very eye-opening, this one and the middle school female, as far as the amount of interest that they have in STEM fields. Females, one of the interesting things that I discovered was that 62% of them do know someone that's an engineer, and only 3% or one female is remotely interested in, or actually very interested in, going into engineering. Looking at the data and the amount of adults that upper elementary school females know in STEM fields, I find it quite interesting to note that 62% of upper elementary know people in a technology field, and only 20% of those students are even interested in technology. Females, one of the interesting things that I discovered was that 62% of them do know someone that's an engineer, and only 3% or one female is remotely interested in, or actually very interested in, going into engineering. Conclusion to this research is like the conclusion that many before me have had, that there needs to be an increased interest in technology and engineering in our schools, and it actually needs to start in the elementary school so that girls are already getting their minds set toward the STEM related fields and careers. The literature review and some recommendations that other research has made, and looking in our textbooks throughout this course and semester and previous semesters, some recommendations that I see that could happen in my school system to increase the interest of females is to begin a female coding and computer club, to have technology and engineering role models, and to begin establishing fully implemented STEM labs and using STEM instruction to its truest extent. To view the capstone project report in its entirety, please visit the web address and then click on the link EDS Research Report 8900. I reflect back over completing the capstone project. I must say that I have learned a lot about formal research, and that it's not an easy task. It takes time to look through literature and to find what you need and to call out what you don't. It takes time to write down your thoughts and put things in cohesive order. I've also learned that through this project, persistence is a key word, as well as flexibility. There will be times when you have a schedule set, but things kind of change and schedules at schools change, and you have to be able to be okay with that. Another thing that I've done through reflection is think back about maybe what I would do differently. I think that if time had allowed, I would have liked to included the high school students so that there was a true vertical look at female interest from elementary school through high school to see if their mindset changes. I do know that they're in the service industry is their interest, but in high school I don't know and would really like to pursue that.